Good morning, morning breathers. It's Tuesday. Did you miss us?
We're here.
What do you think? We're back.
We're back.
We in studio today. We have producer Nick.
Good morning.
And we have with no camera, but we have audio. And boss man Matt.
Well, what's up?
And we're live.
We're live. We're here.
We had a problem yesterday, and I don't know. Could you somehow report that to our loyal brothers?
To the extent that I know, because it's not my thing. But anyway, there's something with the program we use, and it links to a project file, and it didn't get linked. It wasn't linked, and it was hidden somewhere.
Man, I don't care about that. Did you let people know that we didn't?
I misunderstood the question.
I don't give a crap about that.
Okay.
That's his job.
All right.
And somebody else. But you let him know that we just had technical problems.
Yes.
You did a Facebook page or something.
I put a post on our Facebook.
There you go.
Said, yes. Sorry. I misunderstood your question, Tim.
I don't care.
Nobody
don't care what happened. We just weren't on.
Yes, we got a couple crying faces.
What you do need to know is I spent about 4 minutes talking to really nobody.
Yeah,
just people here in the room.
It was maybe your best performance ever.
I'm sorry you all missed it.
Yeah,
even John showed up.
Yeah, John was here yesterday.
Yeah, out of the blue.
But yeah. So anyway, we're here now.
We're up. We're live. We're back. We don't think this will happen again, but it may.
We don't know. Knock on whatever.
We don't know. We want to first thank Hy-Vee and no, I don't want to do that. I want to do KCTC.
We're going to thank them both eventually.
We're going to thank them all. KCTC, because they sponsor the Southeast Iowa Video Network.
Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, Casey.
Thanks, Casey, and all the gang over at KCTC, and Hy-Vee and Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh for sponsoring the Morning Breath crew. Which
thank you, Willie.
Thank you, Willie.
We are.
My David Muir pose. It's looking good. There. Tuesday. Today's Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
We're going to have a short week. It's a really short week.
Yeah, well, especially, we missed yesterday. We're going to be here today and tomorrow, and then we're off.
We're not going to be here the 4th.
Or Friday.
And Friday, we think that, we think we should have a day off.
Because we were here yesterday, even if we didn't go live.
We were really here. It's like putting a day in without doing it. So, short week, today and tomorrow. Someday we'll figure out how to do a best of.
Yeah. It's on
We'll figure it out.
It's on the agenda.
We got, all in good time, Nick. What we're going to talk about yesterday, we had some good stuff. You remember?
No. I think I threw all the ones away from yesterday.
We talked about it yet this morning. You had good stuff picked out.
Oh, well, just like this day in history, like yesterday was the anniversary of when the Sony Walkman was introduced to the world.
Big.
I think 1979.
Big.
It was huge. It changed the world.
It changed the world. I didn't have one. I don't know why. I just didn't have one.
Because you weren't one of the cool kids.
I'm sure I wasn't.
Yeah.
And
I had a Walkman, and then we were talking about it. Got graduated up to a Discman when the CDs came out.
Brilliant idea.
Those things were terrible. They skipped, and they were awful.
Well, they'd skip in your car too.
Yeah. Well, It
took a while to get the CD thing worked out.
Yeah. Yeah. And now we don't
need anything.
We're all right here.
We don't need anything physical other than a phone.
Yes, and
or computer.
A cassette tape, you had to stop and flip it over, and you got like 4 songs on each side or 6 songs on each side.
The cassette was awesome. I liked it way better than the 8-track. But
Yeah,
the 8-track had noises that were awesome.
To switch.
I still don't understand why it did that.
I don't know either. But didn't it have weren't they like you couldn't go to a song? It was like in a 3 or 4 block. Song
no,
block.
you could not.
And so you could go to the block that song was in.
Yep.
You couldn't actually go to the song. I suppose the cassette, you kind of had to monkey around with it to get there too.
You could fast forward a little bit.
Yeah.
You get really good at fast forwarding through a song you didn't like on the B side or something.
When I was a kid, we had an 8-track. My mom had an 8-track in her car, 8-track player. And I don't know how old I was, not very old, but I got a Boxcar Willie 8-track thing. I was all about Boxcar Willie.
Hell yeah.
And we went to Florida, and I had that 8-track, and I threw it up in the back window, not thinking anything of it, and that was the end of my Boxcar Willie 8-track. Melted right down.
Melted her up.
Right down. So then had no more Boxcar Willie.
It's a crying shame.
It is.
You lost Boxcar
I can't tell you how sad I was about that.
I'm sure you were.
I was devastated. My mom was probably thrilled. She's probably like, "No, I want to play ABBA or whatever."
I can't listen to this any longer. Anything newsworthy going on?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. So, do you know how many miles of roads are in Iowa? It'd be total.
I don't know.
All roads in Iowa.
1.2 million.
No, way less. 115,000 miles of roads.
That doesn't seem possible.
Yeah, that's what I saw. But out of that 115,000 miles, do you know what percentage of those are gravel roads? And that's another question. Are they gravel roads or are they rock roads?
Well, it's gravel.
Okay. I think so too. But
Yeah.
I know some people live and die by rock roads.
I did not know. I've never heard people call it that.
Oh, I have.
Jeez.
Yeah, rock road. I live on a rock road. Anyway, what percentage of the 115,000 miles of roads in Iowa are gravel?
85%.
58%.
Yes. See, I was just dyslexic.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But 58% of all Iowa roads are gravel roads, so more than half.
I thought that we had, I forget. I remember talking to Jacob Torius one time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what he said, how many miles of road in this county.
Yeah, I think, so there's an article in the Gazette that I saw yesterday, and they actually interviewed the Lynn County engineer, but also Jacob. And so he was in there too. And he might have said how many, so I can't remember. But yeah, there's a pretty substantial amount. And they spend, most of their time taking care of those. But it is so much cheaper, obviously, to maintain a gravel road.
A rock road?
Than it is to do.
You go get gravel to put on the rock road.
Yes.
That's what I'd do.
Yes. So when I was in college, I worked for the county road crews during the summer. And in Appanoose County, Centerville.
Okay.
And some of those guys that run those graders to maintain those roads, they're freaking magicians, man. With those,
amazing.
It is amazing. And there was a time, not when I was there, so I was there whenever, but even before that, they would tell stories about the old boys that used to do it with the old maintainers that would do that they were amazing and drunk at the same time.
Probably hand cranking the blades and stuff like that.
And drinking whiskey the whole time. They said more than once they got a call and says, "I can't drive this thing back to the shop. Somebody's got to come get me." Now, I don't know when this was, a long time ago, but
those were the days.
Those were the days.
Jeez.
They get out on their maintainer with your little flask of whiskey and just plow up the road.
Well,
man.
you had to take a break every once in a while.
Well, take a break. I don't think they waited till their break. I think it was just the whole time.
Simpler times.
Simpler times.
You needed a little shot, a little snoot to get you through.
If your hand,
could you imagine looking at all that rock road?
Yeah. Yes.
No, I couldn't. I don't know.
We built bridges when I did it. So
you were building bridges?
Building bridges.
Was it real bridges or was it because they called those big culverts bridges?
Yeah, no, real bridges, real piling. Used to
really?
my job.
The county was doing that.
Yeah, my job, one of my jobs, is they had they're basically telephone poles, right? The pilings.
Yep.
And the pilings hold the back wall, so the dirt stays in place, right? So you had to drive these pilings into the ground. The only way to get them into the ground was they pile drived them, right?
Yep.
So they had this big guide and a weight, and they put a 500-pound cap on top of the telephone pole. And then they had another huge weight, a couple thousand pounds. They'd lift it up and then just drop it.
Yeah.
And it'd smash this thing into the ground. Well, to lift that thing up there, the cap and the weight were chained together.
Okay.
And so they would chain everything together. They would lift it up and put it upright.
So they had a crane somewhere.
Yeah, it is a big dragline crane. And so I used to ride that guide up from the ground up into there, hang on to this thing while they kind of centered it on. I'd have to unchain the weight from the cap and then unhook whatever. And then they couldn't just let me down until they got that thing started. So I would climb down the guide a little bit and pray while they dropped this 2,000-pound weight on this cap while I'm hanging on this guide over the top of a river. because I was, 18 and thought that was fun.
Probably OSHA probably wasn't even concerned.
I'm sure not. The other thing is those things, I don't know if they still are. I think they treat them different now, but they were all soaked in creosote.
Oh, that's
So when you drop that cap, the creosote goes, and I had creosote burns for entire summers.
it's been nice knowing you, Matt.
Those were the days. Those were the days.
That creosote is nasty.
I know. And I constantly had aloe on me because I got little burns here or there. Again, I was 18. I thought it was fun.
You were the dude that nobody else wanted to do
Nobody
that.
else. Everybody else was smarter than I was, apparently.
Let's send the kid up.
Yeah. So I did it. And, just wearing a baseball cap and tennis shoes. There was no steel-toed boots or hard hats. They wouldn't have made a difference anyway.
Nope.
But, there you go. So Jimmy says his grandpa Arnold ran a maintainer for Henry County for over 30 years.
County.
He chewed Red Man to stay awake.
That'll do it.
Yeah. So anyway, my county days. First day on the job, walked in, and there was 5 of us, I think, from college. The first time we'd all ever been there. And the county engineer walked in, said nothing, and said, "Do you know how to drive a tractor? Do you know how to drive a tractor?" And all of them down the line said, "Yeah, I know how to drive a tractor." And I didn't know how to drive a tractor at the time. And I said, "Nope, but I can learn real quick." "Nope, not good enough. You're on the bridge crew." All the rest of them got to mow ditches. And I was on the bridge crew.
But I bet you had way more fun.
I had way more fun.
You had way more
Way
fun.
more fun. I got to get creosote soaked and ride the guide.
The guys mowing the ditches, they didn't have that kind of fun.
No, they didn't.
They were probably in an uncooled tractor.
I don't know if they. So Ray was one of them that drove. He just chimed in. I don't know if they had air conditioning or not. I think they all had cabs, but I'm not sure if they were air conditioned or not.
Well, they could have been. They could have been.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who else is here to say good morning to?
My mom's here. Ray has a T-shirt with BikeIowa.com, has a T-shirt outline of the state of Iowa and every single gravel road in the state of Iowa. It's pretty much a block of color with little lines here and in the urban area where there were no lines.
Who's Camden?
Camden's my nephew. He's with my mom,
All right.
apparently. They're in Unionville. So Paula checked in. Matt was the pile driver. I didn't drive it. I just hung on for dear life is all I did.
How high up were you think?
Well, it depends. So if you're kind of close to the bank, because that's where the water, but I was hung out over some rivers at sometimes that were, 40, 50 foot off the ground.
Huh.
Not always,
Yeah.
but sometimes.
That's kind of cool.
Well,
I'll bet that's a little known fact about Matt that most people didn't know.
I built bridges. My grandma, my cousin and I both got a job there. My grandma was like, she didn't say it outright, but she basically said, "You guys aren't cut out to. You guys won't last
You're
this
not
summer.
gonna make it."
You're not going to make it this summer." And we did. We did it 3 summers. So,
Did you get a bridge finished
lots of them.
in 3 years? You got
Oh, yeah.
Lots of them done?
Yeah, we got a couple done a summer.
We darn.
2 or 3.
Why does it take so damn long to build a bridge now?
Well, these are on, speaking of gravel roads, these are on back gravel roads. They were
Okay.
wood. They weren't all the concrete. There was no concrete in them.
Okay.
It's just all pile driver and wood planks and
Okay.
took a sledgehammer and beat bridge planks in. And yeah, no, these are
Got
not
it.
big concrete. And they're probably,
Do you go down to Centerville and say, "Hey kids, I built that bridge"?
I hope to God none of those bridges are still there and they've all been replaced by now. I'm not sure we built 50-year-old warranty bridges.
They weren't like on level C roads or anything.
Well, no, we did some low, whatever. We're getting deep in the woods on this, but
Oh, this is fun.
but we got it. We did a couple low water crossings on level C roads, but they were
Oh,
on,
you did Missouri crossings?
yeah.
Yeah.
Got one in Washington, just right by the
Sure, there's several.
train track thing.
There's several. Yeah.
Yeah, great life experience, Matt, says my mom, who at the time was probably like, well, I don't know.
You're not gonna make it, son.
I don't know if I told her I hung off those things when I was actually doing it, so I'm not sure.
It'll be okay. You made it,
We made it. Here I am.
and you had a great story
Yeah.
that you probably don't tell near enough.
Well, I tell it when I
You
can.
don't need to now. Wait, Nick, should we take a break?
We got.
Well, unfortunately, we have no breaks.
we have no
today.
breaks.
Oh, we
today.
have no break, so we're just gonna
We're just
talk
gonna power. We're gonna power right through.
Oh, okay.
man.
I didn't know if we were going to just whatever. So apparently, all of our technical difficulties are are not quite finished.
I won't try to explain them because you don't care.
We don't care. We don't care. What's the matter? We're either on or we're not.
either here or we're not, right?
So we should. I don't know. There's some people. We're going to get that fixed so we can do commercials again.
Yes. So hopefully by tomorrow we'll be back on track.
Just
in time to take a break.
Superman's coming.
Yes.
From Cedar Rapids to help figure stuff out.
Yes.
All right. We have some things on page 2.
Yes.
If I was Paul Harvey, page 2.
And now page 2.
Page 2. Discussion items. Oh, you want to do Mount Rushmore?
No, we want to do Mount Rushmore.
All right.
So
this is a audience participation.
yes, I'd love to hear some comments. So I was listening to one of my podcasts, and they were talking about the Mount Rushmore of Iowa foods. So 4 foods that are uniquely Iowa. So
we're going to give them one, and there can be there's no argument.
Right. So it's things that are uniquely to Iowa, or I mean, don't have to be unique to Iowa, but you think of when you think of Iowa.
When you think of sitting down and having dinner at Iowa, lunch, breakfast, whatever.
Yes. Something you think about that is Iowa.
Wholeheartedly Iowan.
So the one we're going to give you is what?
Sweet corn.
Sweet corn.
You can't come from Iowa and not know what Iowa sweet corn is.
If you don't have sweet corn on your Mount Rushmore of Iowa foods, you might have to leave the state.
Picture Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
You got the 4 presidents.
Yeah.
This is Iowa Foods Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Now you got some sweet corn. You got a bushel of sweet corn up there. There's one head.
Yes.
We need 3 more.
Yes.
I could go a lot of different ways.
I got one that's obvious for me anyway.
Obvious for you. The one that came to my mind a little bit out there, I don't know if this is just Iowa or if it's more, I don't know, more regional. I don't know. I'm going to throw it out there. Green bean casserole.
I could see that. It wouldn't be on mine, but I could see it.
I don't know. Yeah,
that was mine. That was the one.
I just got done writing that down.
Yeah, tenderloin sandwich, a breaded pork tenderloin sandwich.
Yeah, we'd have to do something pork.
Yeah, well, I think the tenderloin. I think that's a pretty Iowa staple.
That's true.
I agree with that.
I can't argue that.
That would be my number 2. And green bean casserole, I think an argument could be made. Wouldn't be on mine.
I don't know if it's top 4. I think it's a discussion.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear from more. I think that I'm going to write tenderloins down.
Jed says goulash. I'm not thinking that's Iowa specific.
I'm a goulash fan, Jed. I'm a big goulash fan. In fact, they make a pretty damn good goulash. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Schwann's used to have a pretty good goulash.
Well, if it's from
Schwann?
it can't be.
Yeah. They don't have it anymore, but
Do they still exist?
Not in Washington.
All right, we said tenderloin.
Yep.
I am looking for more ideas.
So-
Jimmy doesn't have anything?
Not yet. Nice cold watermelon, also good. I'm not sure if it's on the Mount Rushmore, but this is a very subjective.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
So taco pizza. I think if you get out of there's a couple Made Right. So Made Right's very around Des Moines. They're huge on Made Rights. So I like a good Made Right too.
And a Tumwa.
Taco pizza. If you get outside, I've talked to people that moved away from Iowa, and they said you cannot get a good taco pizza anywhere else.
But you can get a taco pizza.
I guess so. Well, you could narrow that down to say Casey's Pizza, which I know they're all over, but they're really Iowa centric. And Casey's Pizza is.
I don't like it. I like Casey's, but Made Right is in the conversation.
I think Made Right could get on there.
That is 60s Iowa right there.
Yep.
50s and 60s.
Yep. I could get on board with a Made Right on there.
So we kind of have 3.
So
there's nobody commenting on my bean casserole.
no, somebody did. I think Paula said she really likes. I can't remember, but
Well, it seems like wherever I go, if I'm with family or something, I'm either in Iowa or Nebraska.
yeah,
So it's like green bean casserole's there.
yeah.
But I don't know if it's everywhere else.
I don't know. I
People
think,
eat green bean casserole in Florida, Martha?
yeah. Well,
I wonder.
she's still an Iowa girl at heart.
But she lives in Florida part-time.
So Jeff says the only decent taco pizza in Arkansas is at the Iowa-based Casey's.
Well,
So I'm not sure if it's on there. I'm just throwing it out there.
taco pizza is a possibility.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? I mean,
So
but Casey's would make it better than.
So
but
it-
Happy Joe's, they made a good one.
I just like taco pizza. How about, and this is off the wall, Bush Light.
That's certainly Iowa. That could be the honorable mention where there's a Bush Light in every spot.
I think Bush Light is Iowa. Cherry
It
Coke.
is. I don't think anybody drinks more Bush Light than Iowa.
Well, you hear about the bowl games, all this stuff. Mom says no green bean casserole in Florida.
Yeah.
When you hear about Iowa or Iowa State traveling to a bowl game, they cannot stock enough Bush
You
Light.
cannot.
It's just not happening.
I don't understand it, but
How about a Scotcheroo? Kind of the Rice Krispie with the chocolate.
yeah, I love that stuff. I don't know where it came from.
I think that's kind of Midwest
I
for
think-
sure. I don't know if it's Iowa, but I think True Bush Light is Iowa. You got any input, Nick?
No.
I think we hit the nail on the head with three of those for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know about a pork burger.
Yeah, I like
That's
a
a
good
tenderloin.
pork burger. That's kind of, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think so one of the guys on this podcast I listened to, he says steak, mashed potatoes, Scotcheroos, and Bush Light. That was his 4. So steak
And
is
this was in Iowa. You're an
yeah,
Iowa guy? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, well, steak is. We can't take that.
No, steak. I love a good steak, but it's not an Iowa thing.
I wish that I could. I wish I had a computer screen so I could do stuff while I wasn't on a camera.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know. Those would be on mine. Tenderloin, sweet corn.
Bush Light.
I think no, I wouldn't put Bush Light on mine either. I just thought that was funny.
I started to write something with a T and I didn't get it done.
You got tenderloin.
Yeah, sweet corn.
Oh,
tenderloin,
taco
am I
pizza?
right? Oh yeah. Maybe it's a taco pizza / green bean casserole. I feel like nobody else has green bean
All right,
casserole.
I'll give you green bean casserole.
I don't
think
know
it's-
about
I
that.
think it's definitely it's in consideration.
Bean. I call it bean casserole.
Oh, of course you do.
Well, because
Because why not? As long as you got the good turkey onions on the top.
that's a pretty impressive Mount Rushmore, I think.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. I'm glad somebody thought of Made Right because I would have forgot about
Yeah.
that. Roseanne Barr made that
Yeah.
kind of famous for us back in her good old days.
Yeah. I'm trying to think some of the other ones they talked
The
about.
loose meat sandwich.
Yeah. Walking taco is very Iowan.
Oh, yeah. I'm not anywhere else where I can get a walking taco, I don't think.
Yeah, pretty much just at ball games.
Anything on a stick.
Yeah, so there's a whole nother discussion. They started talking, these other guys were talking about the Iowa State Fair. You start talking about corn dogs,
Yeah.
and I mean, funnel cakes.
Euros at 2 a.m.
Right.
Those are the best.
Yes.
There's nothing better than that.
I'm not sure if I don't know how Iowa centric they are, but they're pretty popular in Iowa.
Pretty good, but stuff on it. Boyd's bologna on a stick.
Yeah.
It's Iowa.
Yeah.
You get that at our county for.
So, Ray, you have neighbors that say, so what is it about the walking taco? He says he has neighbors from Wisconsin say, so what is this? And I don't know what he's referring to. Maybe a walking taco.
Yeah, so they don't know what a walking taco.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm a connoisseur of I've been doing a lot of softball and baseball games. A connoisseur of who's got the best.
Walking taco.
Who's got the best concession stand?
Oh. See, I'm all about tenderloin. There's hardly any place I go that has tenderloin on the menu that I don't try it.
Oh,
I everywhere.
do you?
Yeah.
I like them. Okay.
I'm all about them.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm a cheeseburger guy.
Tenderloin
Beef.
beef.
So what's for dinner? That's what I know.
I will maintain, and I haven't been everywhere, but I will maintain the best tenderloin I ever had. J&K Market, Centerville, Iowa.
J&K.
They're closed now, so you can't even get them anymore.
What was J&K? Is that a grocery?
It was kind of a little grocery store. It's kind
With
of
a little
It was the little. It's like
deli in
the
it?
throwback to the old days, where literally it's 2 aisles. You walk up one aisle, and then the back's the meat counter, and then you walk down the other and pay, and just a little
Had everything you needed.
had little everything you needed. But they had the best tenderloins. Buddy of mine's dad owned it, and then my buddy ended up owning it. But good tenderloins.
Have you kept up with who has the best tenderloin in Iowa?
Yeah, I usually see that. I don't remember. So I think
Have they
someplace in
announced that this year?
Waukon was the last one up clear in northeast Iowa. I've not been there. Butch's River Rock Cafe, which isn't there anymore in Mount Pleasant, was number 1 for 1 year.
Butch's River Rock.
Down at Oakland Mills,
Yeah.
south of
Oh.
Mount Pleasant. Just a little tiny place. It's not there now.
Okay.
But they had a really good tenderloin.
Hand cut and breaded.
Oh, the whole, yeah.
Thick.
Loved it. Loved it.
Got it's the breading's important.
It is. And what you put in the seasoning, because I've had some not so good ones. I like the thicker ones. Some of them roll them out really thin, and
Yeah,
Not for
because
me.
they just wanted plate size
You're
or
right.
something.
yeah, forget it.
Yeah, it's kind of good looking, but
Yeah, Ray says
Takes you-
Dutch Letters. Dutch Letters are about 3 communities in Iowa they come out of. I wouldn't put them on my Mount Rushmore though.
is that like a donut?
It's a pastry thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a Pella thing? Or
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes.
Dutch?
Yes. Yeah, you got it.
Huh?
You're all over it.
I'm pretty. I'm hip. I'm cool. I'm with it. Spill the tea, Nick. I just want to see if you know what that means. You know what that means?
Spill the tea or
Spill the
Dutch butter?
tea. He doesn't know.
You got him. You got him.
Well, this is fun to be back. I don't know who we have tomorrow. Are we gonna? Are you and I gonna be here?
I'll be here.
Nick, will you be here?
I'll be here.
I think John says he's out till next week.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he is.
But he was here yesterday. Believe it or not, he was here.
Yeah. You know what? Have you? Probably haven't. You haven't reached out to Alex.
I have not.
I'm gonna send him a text today.
Yeah.
I feel like I just let him hang, but I
I will-
wanted him to get settled.
Yeah. I will say that yesterday, podcast, TV, whatever, heard nothing about Duluth. It's like the first day, like since you left, that I haven't heard something about Duluth.
You got Duluth on your mind.
I do. It's kind of like when you buy a new
It's
car.
everywhere.
You buy a new car, and then all of a sudden everybody's driving the same car you just bought, and you never noticed it
I've
before.
never seen this car before, and I finally get one now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's. Should we get set for the day?
We can get set for the day. Oh, except we didn't have a break, so I gotta kind of do this on the fly. Usually, this is my
We're just discombobulated when things don't work
yeah.
right.
So, the time 7:42 a.m. The date is the 2nd of July. The temperature right now in Washington is 67, Mount Pleasant is 69, and Fairfield 69.
You know the year's half over, Nick.
Paula says, "Tell Alex hi from her too."
Okay.
Weather today. Chance of light rain this morning, followed by thunderstorms this afternoon and into the evening. Potential for some of the storms to become severe with strong wind and hail possible. Are you buying it?
No, we're gonna have some. We're gonna have some rain, but
Yeah. Well, we're under like starting at 3:00 or something. We're under like a flood watch.
I think I'm gonna miss my granddaughter's last game. I think it's gonna get rained.
Get
out.
rained out.
No.
High today of 85 and a low of 66 this evening. Things to do in Fairfield. Enjoy.
on.
Well, what?
Did you know that there's a hurricane going through my favorite part of the world?
I heard there's a hurricane going through and it's pretty big.
It went right past St. Vincent, which is very near my favorite island in the world. And I'm not going to say it because I don't want anybody to go there. But it's near St. Vincent.
Well, didn't you broadcast live from there? Didn't we have you on the air from
No, that
Oh,
I
different.
was from there. I was at St. Where the hell was I? Another Saint.
Yeah, Saint's Place?
Saint somewhere. Anyway, I hope all those. I've got a friend down there,
Oh,
and I'm gonna send him a message. Hope
Yeah.
they're okay.
apparently it's a big. I mean, it's Category
It's a
5
and
big ass-
thing.
And then it's gonna piddle.
Yeah.
It looks like it's missing the states for the most part.
Fairfield enjoys summer evenings with the community band on the Ron Pearl Bandstand in Fairfield Central Park, starting
Okay.
tonight, beginning at 8 p.m.
Look out, Belize.
Yeah.
I've been to Belize too.
Well, so the Mount Pleasant varsity softball team plays this evening, maybe if it doesn't get rained out, against Holy Trinity, beginning at 5:30 p.m. at Maple Leaf Athletic Complex.
Holy Trinity.
Yeah, exactly. And this is kind of an odd way to do this, but just as a reminder,
What the what?
Washington, there's no farmers market on Thursday because it is the 4th of July. And tomorrow I'm hoping to put a list together of all the 4th of July fireworks stuff.
Do these farmers markets, they just quit growing things on that day?
On the 4th of July. Even
What the hell are they going to do with all their...
I about said
goods?
even farmers take 4th of July off, but probably not. Farmers got to work all the time.
all the time? You was milking cows, you'd have to get up and milk cows.
Exactly. You don't want them things to explode. So
Just makes a mess
it just
everywhere.
makes a mess everywhere. Just more work the next day. This day in history, American adventurer Steve Fawcett became the first balloonist to circumnavigate the world alone.
You just wake up one day and go, I want to just jump in a balloon and go.
He didn't do it one day because I kind of remember this.
I
I
failed
didn't.
a couple times.
A lot of times. I forgot to write down what year it was, so I don't think it was that terribly long ago. But yeah, he tried several times, and not only that, but he had to like get permission to fly across some
Crying out loud,
countries.
he's
And
going up really high.
I know.
Like, I forget. I
But-
don't want to say.
well, he was
30,000 feet.
Yeah, and he was in a pressurized.
He had to
thing.
have oxygen.
Yeah. Anyway, good for him.
Way goes Steve.
Way to go, Steve.
Had a boy.
All right, gentlemen. Why
Why?
did the turkey cross the road? Because he wasn't a chicken.
Hell to the no. Turkey. No chicken.
I'll see you tomorrow, Lauren. Actually, I think I'll see you Thursday, Lauren. Unless you're just tuning in here. My daughter.
Okay.
Anyway, personal side.
We thank you all. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, see you tomorrow. I think that's it. We're going to hope for commercials so that we have a chance to
catch
get back
our
into
breath.
what the hell we are very regimented here.
Did we decide on a fourth? Or is it kind of the fourth isn't open on the Mount Rushmore? We got 3 solid and 1 kind of.
3 solid and 2 we like.
All right.
So the jury's out.
Maybe we have a 5-headed Mount
Maybe
Rushmore.
maybe our audience will decide between taco pizza and green bean casserole.
And Busch Light.
I think taco pizza. I think Busch Light. You could have a case like kind of in the center. Green bean casserole would be hard to put up. How do you light that up?
That's a lot
Think
of
about that.
a lot of carving.
That's a lot of carbon. That's all we have for today. We're going to hope we're back to normal tomorrow a little bit, and then if not, we've got a long break to get to make things right. So thank you all for joining. We will be back tomorrow, and hopefully in a more normal fashion.